Okay, so wow. Today we are diving into, as they say, some seriously murky waters.
Mm,
Media, politics, and relationships all stirred up together.
yeah.
And it's all because of these articles about Olivia Nuzzi's personal life. You've seen these headlines.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
whole Keith Olbermann thing and RFK Jr.
Yeah. It's a tangled web for
Mm.
sure. On the surface, it seems like juicy gossip, but I think when we really get into it,
Right.
there's a lot more here about power dynamics and, how we view journalists.
Totally. So, okay, let's just dive right in with Olbermann. So he comes out of left field,
Yeah,
tells the New York Post about dating Nutzi, like 10 years ago,
right.
and even calls it wholesome.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I mean, the timing is just, I don't know, really fascinating. It makes you think, is he trying to get ahead of this?
Mm-hmm.
She's in the spotlight right now. Maybe he wants to sort of like influence how people are seeing him in light of all this.
Especially because the other half of this is a lot, I don't know, trickier.
Yeah.
Nuzzi is on leave from New York Magazine right now because of her relationship with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who she profiled for the magazine.
Exactly. Come on.
Yeah, it's talk about a blurred line. Right. Like journalism, it relies on objectivity. And I think when there is even just the appearance of a conflict of interest,
Totally.
it really makes people wonder. And it can erode trust, you know? Even if nothing happened, between Nuzzi and RFK Jr. while she was writing the profile,
Right.
it still just raises questions, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it even gets wilder because one of the articles even mentioned that RFK Jr.'s like inner circle,
Right.
or like she was setting him up. Like what?
I mean, who knows, right? It's a
I mean, yeah.
conspiracy theory. But it just shows how easily narratives, especially about public figures, can just, I don't know, catch fire.
Take hold.
Yeah, I mean, this is the age of instant information. Everybody has a take. And it makes you kind of think, about what is the role of a journalist?
Mm.
How do we view journalists? Are they held to a different standard?
Oh, 100%.
And does their platform make them, I don't know, more vulnerable to this kind of scrutiny, or does it give them power? You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's kind of both, right?
Yeah, and it's not like this is the first, I don't know, high-profile relationship that Nizzi has had. Both of these articles mention her being engaged to Ryan Lizza,
Right, right.
another big-time political reporter.
Yeah. And again, it's just like these worlds are so small. Media and politics, they're constantly bumping up against each other.
Oh, for sure.
Personal lives or professional lives. You can't untangle them.
So where does that leave, where does that leave us as readers? Should we be like questioning everything?
I don't know if it's about distrusting everything, but it's definitely about being a little bit more like savvy,
Okay.
a little more discerning about what you are reading. Like who wrote it?
Mm-hmm.
What's their background? What are they bringing to this?
Mm-hmm.
Could there be any kind of bias here? Like even down to personal relationships.
So like we have to be our own, I don't know, like fact checkers almost.
In a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Do your own little like background check.
Yeah. I like that. Do your own background check. This whole thing really makes you think twice about what's actually going on, when you read an article, what's happening behind the scenes.
It's a good reminder that like, even when it's about politics or these big figures, at the end of the day, news is still being written by people.
Totally.
And people with histories and, baggage and connections.
Right.
And I think those factors can sometimes even be more telling than whatever the news is.
Than the actual story.
Exactly.
That is wow. Yeah. I'm going to be looking at everything I read a little bit differently now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive. That was a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all the time we have today for the deep dive. Thanks for listening.